Okay, everyone, we have a game. Team Russia going up against LFT. Looking for Team 4 Division S is the full name. So we are currently in the first semi-final of the third Division S qualifier. It was a bit of a mouthful, but we're here. So again, as we're heading into the video, I want to once again reiterate. I'm really sorry if you heard that litany already a few times, but in case that there are a couple of lag spikes during the match, I'm really sorry for it, but I'm currently not in my new apartment in Spain yet. You might have heard that I moved back to Europe, but I'm currently in an Airbnb, and unfortunately I don't have a proper internet connection here. I'm actually connected over Wi-Fi. Yes, I know it's a bit monka-ass, but it's the only thing that we can do at this point. So if there are a couple of connection issues, it could be that we had a couple of frame drops every now and then. The past few games and also yesterday were pretty good to us, so I hope that everything is going well today, but just so you already know what's happening here if that's the case. So with that little caveat here, we're heading into game number 1, Infernal Shrines. We currently have Turanda banned out right away. The Russian team, in general, really aggressive. I mean, these guys love to play with stocks and Uberak. They usually try to get Malfurion for Khaldor Martian. They play a lot with Zeratul setups or simply blow-up compositions. And that has so far served them really well. Not only did they do fantastic at the Nations Cup, they also were able in the first and second qualifier to go really far and deep into the bracket. And now here in the third try, they're of course attempting to directly qualify for Division S. Now, a couple of people have asked in the past where they can get additional information about Division S, and you can head over to heroeslaunch.gg and simply look at the navigation bar. There's a separate point for Division S, and you can look that up. We are still in the qualifier phase, so before the first season of Division S, the new semi-pro league for Heroes of the Storm, starts, the teams have to be determined, and it's going to be 8 teams in total. The winner of every one of these 4 qualifiers automatically qualifies for Division S, and the remaining 4 teams are determined by a point system where you earn more and more points as you progress through the bracket of a qualifier tournament. It's pretty simple. Might have sounded a little bit more complicated, but if you take a look at it on paper, you'll pretty quickly realize that it's a really simple system. And we already have, of course, a ton of ex-pros qualified for Division S. Here in the third qualifier, a few more are going to try and make their play. As you can see here with the picks, we have with the Nuburak on the side of Stork exactly what I talked about earlier, the attempt to be that aggressive again with the Nuburak, whereas LFT now with Diablo and Alexstrasza is more so catering towards the map itself. And we have Imperius and a pretty baller skin as well right there. So Nuburak and Imperius. And the cool thing about Imperius from Team Russia was actually that in the past they oftentimes went in and used Imperius in the first qualifier, for example, as a main tank, which was pretty awesome actually. And now they have Stork and Nuburak, and they have Imperius in the offlaner role. They have that Malfurion that I highlighted earlier for Khaldor Martian. And he is pretty sick on that hero. Like, he has fantastic root follow-ups. He had some great ults already in previous games. And this is a pretty exciting one. I'm looking forward to this. Jaina is banned out. If you have a Nuburak and Malfurion together, of course, in an ideal world, what you really want is burst damage. And Jaina is one of the best burst mages, if not the best burst mage out there right now. A little bit of a small tongue twister that we had there for a moment. Especially if Imperius can follow it up as well with his launch. But let's check out how exactly the red team is going to play this. Because so far, I haven't really casted a lot of these guys in the Division S qualifiers. I mean, we had a lot of those bad boys, obviously, in games in the past outside of the Division S qualifier. But in those qualifiers, I didn't really get the chance to look at their games a lot. They were usually in the lower part of the bracket, and most of my games were more so focused towards the upper parts. So we're going to see how that's going to work out for them right now. Definitely a lot of names that you should recognize if you watched the Nations Cup, if you watched previous games in Heroes Launch. Gul'dan and Thrall, so they're nearly going full Team Smog here. The only thing that we're missing is Rhaegar and Garrosh. I mean, these don't need either one of those anymore. But it is a pretty good setup for the map. A lot of AoE clear with Gul'dan. You have Thrall for the offlane. Diablo has a lot of walls that he can use to get those stuns in. Alexstrasza, of course, great, not only with the Dragon Queen for the zone control, but also with her heals. And we have Greymane and Malthael. So a Nuburak, Imperious, and Malfurion to lock the target down. Greymane goes in, bullet to the face, right between the eyes, bit of damage, and Malthael says, boys, it's last rites time. Goes in, drops the target, gets a stack. In theory, that's a kill right there. So a pretty strong setup. A lot of AoE that they can also use. They clear through Greymane, through Malthael, helps you on the objective now too. But yeah, it's aggressive. It's aggressive, exactly what we expected. And against Greymane, the pick on Arthas now taken to counteract some of that auto attack damage here. Guys, I'm excited. Game 1 should be good. Team Russia here in the semifinal of the 3rd Division S Qualifier goes up against Team LFT. Game number 1, Infernal Shrines, and on the left, Team Russia, with Fallen Down Imperious, Stalk on Anubarak, we have Toxic on Malthael, Collier Martian on Malfurion, Banabir on Greymane, and to the right side, a Banana Age on Alexstrasza, we have Nestib on Thrall, Dequaza on Arthas, Turbos on Gul'dan, and Masquerade on Diablo. And I don't really envy Diablo right now, because he's going to have a tough one here, going up against Greymane, who's going to try and simply lock him down, or well, not lock him down, but capitalize on the lockdown with a quick bullet, and then you have always the last rites trouble. So there's definitely a lot of potential of Diablo just getting blown to pieces, if he doesn't pay attention. And I mean, that's something that we have to watch out for right now. At this point, we have... Ooh, yeah, there we go. Diablo immediately in trouble, as already mentioned before. Needs to be a bit careful. Okay. Not really the follow-up just yet. And again, like, most of this is really just coming into play when we have the level 10 abilities. That's one of the things that you should keep in mind too. Because with level 10, you have Cursed Bullet all of a sudden, and it's not only that. Outside of it, it's also, of course, that we are finally going to see Last Rites playing a bit of a role here. So once that all of this comes into play, things are going to become way more dangerous for him. We already have Imperious with a collapse at the bot lane, by the way. As my mouse for some reason stops working, but no kill. So not even the mouse can prevent that here. Yeah, again, the setup that I'm currently running here is not ideal, so apologies for occasional tourist moments here, but we'll do our best for the qualifier, and with qualifier number 4 I should have my perfect setup in my own apartment with a proper internet connection, and then we're not gonna run into these troubles any longer. Good damage against Masquerade though, down here at the bot lane, so the aggression from Team Russia as expected is there. They have quick rotations between the mid and the bot lane, still rotate Toxic on his Malthael into the middle every now and then, but a heavy invade now on the camp. And I mean, exactly what we're seeing right here. This is pretty much what we've been talking about every single time we cast the Russians. They are aggressive. They invade the opponent's camp. They're looking for kills. They're drafting heroes that are very, very prone to engages. They're looking for engages. They're trying to make the plays here. And this is exactly what's currently going on, as you can tell. They already take their opponent's camp out. They are rotating in again. They're making a play over there. And with that said, more and more mercenaries are now being focused by them. When we're talking about Thrall, we have the Frostwolf pack, by the way, as the level 4 talent choice. Usually that comes with a level 16 Alpha Wolf. Given that we don't really have a massively hit point heavy tank right now on the other side, I could have totally seen them go instead into Mana Tide on 4 and Thunderstorm on level 16. But at the same time, you have to consider that this is pretty much a full melee setup. Not quite, but close to, on the side of Team Russia. So you will connect a lot of these wolves, and a cooldown reduction on the talent through a completed quest on level 4 is going to help you significantly with that. So when it comes to talent choices, the level 4 now Battle Hunger taken. So a bit more sustain for Imperious now in these fights. I mean, it is a very melee heavy setup, and sustainability is absolute key. And here comes again that follow-up. Good heals coming from Banana's Age Alexstrasza. As for a moment only, Arthas was in trouble, but is able to move away from this. Top lane, the two camps collide. But it looks so far as if the blue one will prevail here. And down to the bottom of the map, we have the battle starting up as we're going into objective number 1 here. And at this point, Team Russia is starting to take a slight lead. They have the position. They're locking down Diablo again, but they're making the move for Thrall. Fallen, trying to get the kill here. Thrall himself already low in mana with another Wolf Connect, trying to lock them down here. Not quite successful in the attempt as we're having the main tool of LFT being used. Going for the Dragon Queen here. 25 to 21 points right now. And here comes the lunge from Imperius. And down goes Thrall. The quest denied again. The stacks reset, and he's not the only one that dies. No, Arthas is also falling as Malthael jumps in deep and secures kill number 2. Tobos on his Gul'dan barely survives with a sliver of health, somehow able to keep himself alive here. And now the team focuses back onto the shrine itself. Job well done. The camp in the meantime is getting value up at the top lane. Not too much, but gets some damage in. To the bottom of the map now with level 7 talents in their hand and an entire level lead already. Only 4.5 minutes in. We're seeing Team Russia starting with even more aggression. The Holy Fervor taken on level 7 right now. Gets even more cleave damage out, and of course when you look at the objective on the map on Infernal Shrines, that's a fantastic talent to take here. Allows you to get even more damage in to grab those Punishers. And with the Punisher in their hands and roaming through the bot lane, they also eliminated the first fort right here. Getting the damage in. That said, we're having the pressure play in the middle, thanks to also, of course, the Beetles. So the Nubarok spawns here. They can soak some of the tower shots and wait until the minion wave itself starts to push in. But when it comes to the stacking process, especially Thrall is suffering here slightly. Still that level lead. The potential to go for Arthas. One stun to the roots, and they go straight in, and Quasar goes down. Heavy aggression. The Russians, they do what they do best. They take them down one after another. They go in and drop Arthas, and that's 3 kills. And I mean, look at experience. These bad boys, they love to snowball this shit. Again, the lunge from Farlander. And they take Gul'dan down to Malthael is already in the middle of the map, but they are nearly on level 10 right now, and this is just crazy. LFT is so far getting slammed into a wall here as Team Russia is going for it and is dropping one structure after another. The fort at the top lane is down, and with that we have level 10 now in their hands, of course, too. We have the Wrath of Anguirus again, so even more potential to get a kill with a bit of a setup here and to isolate someone. And of course, now we have also Last Rites. We have the bullets and we have Last Rites. This is the moment when you can start and get a couple of stacks for Malthael's heroic ability. This is starting to get a bit bananas, if you ask me. 4 kills against 0, nearly 2 levels ahead, and Team Russia is just on the map snowballing it once again. And if a team knows about snowballing, then it is Team Russia, because it's always cold in Russia. There's a lot of snow there. They really know how to make that snowball, that snowman, get it into an avalanche. They have a lot of experience with this. So, yeah. They're using that experience to get the snowball going as we speak. And the only thing that LFT can do is take the punches, one after another, roll with them, and try to get the level 10 to maybe turn this around. But here comes the aggression against Diablo. And as I said before, how do you survive as Diablo? Oh, you stay away from Malthael. Here comes the delivery, and there's the kill. Malthael gets his stack as well as they're taking down Gul'dan. And Jesus Christ, can you calm down for a moment? The Russians, they are just going nuts here. Calm down. They have a family, for crying out loud. I mean, I can tell you one thing, guys. This is not fake news. This is really happening here. This is brutal. They go in and they are just dominating. 6 kills against 0. 1 stack already for Malthael. Shrine activating at the top right now. But yeah, things are rough. Imperius with the setups here for the damage dealers. Greyman is having a field day as he can just jump in over and over again and get the damage through. Malthael now at the bottom of the map. Toxic playing this perfectly. Sitting on the mound for the longest time up to the point where they finally start to have some vision. And he's going to push this. He's going to push this a little bit more, pushes another wave through, and then can rejoin the team up at the top. And by now, thanks to the experience on Malthael, we also have them with level 13. Here comes the Apocalypse, the attempt of LFT to get the kill. Horrify against the Nubarak, and Stork dies. Stork is down. They look for more kills, even dropping the Earthquake here, but they can't just quite get them yet. And again, the lunge of Imperius. The Russians, they're exactly where they want to be in a 4 versus 5, and they get the kill against Diablo. They drop him, Imperius, with the delivery and the kill. Quasar is also getting attacked. Another launch, another death. Not quite. Not quite, not quite. Arthas moves away, but still. I mean, personally, I think that secretly Imperius has a second job. He's not only a tank and a frontliner, he's also working for Postmates, because the delivery of this guy is always on point. That's a 5-star rating if I've ever seen one. And yeah, he delivers kill after kill, and that's 2 stacks now on Malthael's last ride. So all the forts are down. In a 4 versus 5, they won another engage. We're easily able to win that. And with that said, we're now seeing them in a position where they can start to make the play for maybe even a keep. And we're only 9 minutes and 30 in. Only 9 minutes and 30 seconds into this match. Now they move through the top lane. I mean, take a look at that damage. I mean, already Imperius himself with the cleave, of course, through 7 on 21,000 damage here. Malthael is currently sitting at meager 11k, but still he gets the kills through the last rides. And 15,000 for Greymane. This is getting nuts. And again, they go in. Look for the setup. No, they don't find it this time. Here comes the move once more. Barnabia, they want to go for the keep. Can they get a kill too? The Punisher is still alive. And they go for Nubarak as LFT is looking to find a kill, but they can't get it just yet. And here comes the delivery. You ordered? Yes, I did. Can I have an Arthas, please? Yes, you can. But unfortunately, that Arthas has already popped the army, so he's still alive. Punisher's down. That keep is still in play, but they might be able to get it eventually. They're going for Diablo again, and that's the kill. Diablo is down. Lord of Terror, my ass. That kitty is dead, and Alexstrasza falls to 10 kills against 1, 2.5 levels ahead. They go for Nest Dip, and Thrall gets wrecked. Malthael falls as the counter kill, but all of a sudden Team Russia is going for the core. They're like, well, we're here already. We might as well attack the core, right? And they want more kills too. They go for the core, and I mean, they have Greymane. The problem is that Greymane is currently getting the aggro from this, and I don't think they can actually win this yet. But that's 50% on the core. Greymane goes down, got the bullet through once more. They're all gonna die here. But they have 50% on the core, so that's something. The only one that's trying to escape is a Nubarak, and the bug gets out. Is there Horrify? There's no Horrify. Yeah, Turbos can't get close enough. So Nubarak is still there. Still a massive lead. They lost 4 on the core. But outside of that, they are currently looking pretty decent. 50% on the core. The keep is down. And of course, besides that, we're now seeing them moving back onto the map as well. I mean, the balls alone to go for the core here. It's like, what? I'm not quite sure if there was a moment where they thought we might as well, we can actually do it, or if they just said it's fine if we die as long as we get enough damage onto the core. Because now, of course, they have the potential to go for a backdoor at any point. But the problem still remains. That core call was a bit ambitious. So it looked more like, well, let's try. Yeah, they go for Thrall. Nest Dip, you can run, you can't hide. That's another stack for Malthael. Malthael is sitting on 4 stacks. At 20 seconds of cooldown reduction already. And LFT is going for the bot lane in the meantime. So they're just moving in, trying to get the level 16, which they succeed in doing. They have so far even talents, and that's of course the downside of YOLOing onto the core the way that Team Russia did in the last engage, because the problem that you have now is that you're a level ahead, but you have lost that talent advantage that so far you've been able to hold on. So at this point, Farland are still busy down here at the bottom. The 16 talents. I mean, Imperius went straight into the Divine Rage and into the Melting Touch afterwards. Looks like we might see an invade actually up to the top side, where Toxic is currently taking a camp. I'm not sure if he sees this one coming. And no, that's a dead Malthael. Should be. There's no way. Yeah, okay, thank you. But again, the Russians are where they want to be. 4 versus 5, that's their sweet spot. And they go straight in to get that kill. The lunge, the kill. Thrall wasn't there yet, so it was more 4 versus 4. But it's still the kill that they needed, and now they get Thrall as well. Apocalypse or no Apocalypse, it doesn't really matter. Nature's Cure comes through, and Team Russia, they are in their perfect environment. They're on the hunt once again, and are trying to hunt their opponent down, but of course start focusing on the objective a little bit more, as they realize they won't be able to get anybody here. So, yeah, that is actually starting to get really dicey, especially those low cooldowns on Malthael, when he isn't dead, are starting to become a bit of an issue, since towards the late game that can of course completely spiral out of control. It's already bad enough as it stands, but with another Punisher coming through, that's even more trouble. They prep the wave and now go for the camp too. Malthael is of course on his way back. We have still a bit of experience. Like in this case, the Russian team wants to delay that Punisher a bit because they are on level 18 and a bit, so they are hoping to get level 20 early. They're hoping to get a kill here too, and Quasar nearly got locked down by this. And if he does, that might be the kill that the Russian team is looking for. They grabbed the Punisher, they delayed it a bit, potentially getting level 20 at some point. And now starting to move with the camp through the top lane and the big Punisher through the middle of the map here. So attention has to be split by LFT. And they are already in a tricky spot as is. But here comes the Punisher again. The jump not followed up this time. Baited in, catapults already starting to do some work here, and that fort, that keep is low, gets lower, and here comes the Frozen on the ground, gets the pebbles in, the stun, Greymane, and the kill as Malthael delivers the last rites. 5 stacks for him, 25-second cooldown reduction, once again the delivery right here. Masquerade is low, so is Quasar. Arthas is about to fall, Diablo trying to run, everybody's running, the Punisher wants a piece of the action as well, and with both of the tanks gone, the back line is wide open. Alex Straza is low. Farlander gets the kill. Anubarak moves in, drops it, and it's a 5-man wipe as we have the Punisher going for the core. Well, Diablo is back and he wants to go another time, but this is game as Team Russia with a bang opens up this series and takes the lead in the best of 3 here in the semi-final. Game number 2, Dragonshire is the map, and Team Russia has opened up this series with a bang, to say the least. I mean, these guys have done they've done a number on LFT. Let's be honest here. That game was just full control of the Russians, and again, it comes to me personally back to also showcasing why Anubarak is so oftentimes banned out against Team Russia. It's not only that we're having a fantastic player on the front line in form of Stork, but at the same time Anubarak as a hero just really caters a lot to the strength of the Russian team and the playstyle that they normally incorporate. So with this particular setup, they just love to play that, like dive in, get the kills, be aggressive, rotate between the lanes, jump on the solo laner when you see it, have someone moving too far out on the lane to push a wave through, immediately pounce on him and drop him. So that's exactly what they've been doing all game long, and I wounn't be surprised to see an Anubarak ban. I'm gonna be honest here. There it is. Like, it doesn't shock me in the slightest. So with my F banned out, Zeratul also taken away, Anubarak now banned, no more rotations on that end, and a little bit harder to initiate. We still have Imperius that can be taken, of course. Stork has on this map also played with Garrosh, another hero that we have to consider. Think also a bit about the solo lane here, because obviously outside of potentially having someone like Imperius here, you could still see Dehaka, you could still see Urel, who is still fantastic here. Jaina gets banned, so we're not going to see any kind of burst damage shenanigans here either, but with Hanzo we have the mobility on the map through his trade, trying to jump over here and get something done. But the big question at this point for me personally is, how is Stork gonna adjust? Especially how is that going to be that Garrosh again? Are we going to have a Garrosh? Are we going to have Imperius? What's the front line going to look like for Team Russia with this? I expect Malfurion again. Call your Martian, he loves his Malfurion. I would be shocked to not see that unless they go for Tirana composition. And there's Malfurion. Malfurion right away, and together with that Imperius for Farlander. There's Tyrande Garrosh on the other side, so the Tyrande setup for them. And yeah, LFT. A pretty decent move here as well. Hanzo, Tyrande, and Garrosh. A lot of stuns already here for them. And now, of course, the big question. What's the next ban? No double Shimada brothers. Not in this game. No, 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 no. And instead, what's the ban against the opponent? I mean, you can still ban the frontline, of course. If you're trying to limit Stork's hero pool right now, after we've seen bans against the Noombarak and against Garrosh, you can, for example, ban out someone like Diablo. But keep in mind, Stork also played a lot of Johanna. We've seen Muradin being played too. And there's still a fair amount of options that you can use in order to be really aggressive with this and start a stun setup for your team. But instead, they're banning out Tracer. That's not a bad ban either, because we have seen in the past how strong the Team Russia can be with a good Tracer setup, and they already have Malfurion here, and Tracer, of course, excels with a Malfurion combo. So they leave the frontline alone. Again, as I said, so many options at this point for Stork still. But damage is another question. What are we going to see in regards to the damage numbers? Junkrat has been played a lot. Will be a great hero for the map again either. And there he is. Junkrat taken. And we have towards the off lane Toxic with Leoric again. It's a similar setup what they had before. But, well, as we have those picks coming in, I mean, keep in mind that the one player, if they want to keep this setup and don't swap around, that still misses a hero would actually be Stork, who's currently not really looking at a main tank yet. So that would be a triple melee setup if they follow through with it. Now, Imperius can be played in a main tank position, but we've seen him more and more on the off-tank role. Orphia and Dehaka running the global, running the map a bit from the perspective of LFT. And time for the last pick on the side of Team Russia. They have the lead in the series, a fantastic victory in the first game. Very dominant on Infernal Shrines. And now as we're heading into Dragonshire, the final pick of the blue team for the front line, it's going to be Reyna. Getting Reyna here. Stork very likely going to be on Imperius therefore. It's kind of expected a bit. Yep. And Farlander with Reyna. So they get the extra damage healer. Don't go for a triple melee setup. We have seen them, as I said multiple times before, with Imperius in the main tank position. So they swap that around as we're heading into game number 2 of the semi-final here at the Division S Qualifier on Dragonshire. Game number 2, Team Russia in the lead against LFT, and towards the left, Stork on Imperius, Farlander on Reyna, Kolya Martian on Malfurion, once more with Toxic on Leoric, and Banabir on Junkrat. And on the right side, the team in red, LFT with Banana H on Tyrande, Dequaza on Dehaka, Masquerade on Garrosh, we have Nestip on Orphia, and Tobos on Hanzo in this second game. And LFT, they really have to show us what they're made of now, as we have the Russian team riding into battle again, led by Stork with Imperius on the Pleb Horse and Toxic on the Golden Cock. He's a little bit cocky here, moves out a bit too much, but he has reason to, because he has lightning reflexes, reacts immediately after being thrown in, even before the stun comes through with the Wraithwalk, moves out and keeps himself safe. In terms of talents, nothing insane here so far. Again, usually with the Burn the Impure on level 1 for Imperius, I mean, this is like the go-to talent we see, at least from this team, whenever the question is asked, what is the Imperius build to go for here? Imperius, of course, going to try and run with these setups. Farlander again finds himself on the bot lane, pretty much isolated. We still have Garrosh controlling the pathways between the two lanes here, between bot and mid. Needs to be also careful. Nice! Dog with a good lunge right there. Starting to jump away just as we have the move coming through on the side from Garrosh. So yeah, well done by him. Keeps himself out of range, uses the mobility to ensure that there is no kill potential for LFT early on in the game. Now, we're talking a lot about the map, and we have a bit of a difference here when it comes to camp priorities. Siege Giant camp taken at the bottom, but up to the top left, we already have the Bruiser camp attacked by Team Russia. So they're going to have a bit more of an aggressive setup at the top lane, where especially, of course, Leoric is going to have a good time. Farlander is a little bit far out here, but Masquerade wasn't able to close the distance and take him on. So no kill opportunity against Reyna just yet. But thanks to the camp at the top side, there's a very good chance that Leo is going to claim that particular shrine. That's exactly what he's doing right now. Stork and Colin Martian already sitting there, and they're making the play. They're trying to go in. A fantastic drag from Dequaza. That was actually the save. Just as Stork goes in and tries to go for the stun, for the engage, we have the drag from Dehaka and preventing all of that. Really, really well done by him. Another attack potentially against Masquerade. Not quite working out there, but good damage being put through either way. And in the meantime, Farlander was able to defend the bot lane. One tower has fallen, but he did well with this. Again, Stork with the attempt to move out here. And we have a lot of really little skirmishers that dish out a lot of damage at this point. So, for the time being, both of them without a kill, but we are getting closer and closer to one here. Toxic moves in again against Dequaza topside. And obviously, with Dehaka being in the game, you now have that global tool in your belt that you can use whenever there is an opportunity, let's say at the bot lane for example, with a quick connect on the drag and trying to get a kill for your team. Masquerade with a quick channel there, denies the vision, but they're anchoring the side as the rest of them moves in and starts to take the camp. Stork and Kolya are already asking themselves, well, where exactly are these bad boys? Bit of vision is being dropped, Farlander comes in, and LFT moves away. Aggression, aggression, aggression. Rotations, and always trying to capitalize on these small advantages in the game. But Masquerade now with a wraparound. They're trying to go in. Good control from Farlander. Trying to push him back with a penetrating round. But they go straight for Garrosh. Thanks to Junkrat. And here comes Dehaka. Trying to go for Stork here. Connects the drag and Imperius is down. Good counter kill here that we see from LFT. But of course they have given up the top lane in the meantime. And what Toxic has to do right now is secure the shrine for them, because there is a rotation mid side. Junkrat is in the middle, so he can interrupt and give Toxic a little bit more time to get the shrine control. That also means, on the other hand, that he couldn't push out this particular lane, because if he would have been able to get those minions, then there would have been experience lost for LFT. But the way that it had worked out, he needed to prioritize the shrine control over lane control, and that gave Dehaka enough time to move in and catch all of the experience here. Talking about catching things, Kolya Martian gets caught and he gets chomped into the ground by Orphea. That was a quick kill here by Coffin Girl. She is going straight in and drops the last hit against Malfurion. Great opportunity also created by Masquerade on his Garrosh, so well done by him. Same build, by the way, on Imperius. We talked about this before, but once again, just to highlight it. Burn the Impure on level 1 into Battle Hunger for the additional survivability, and then the Holy Fervor just for the AoE that you get. Not only a great talent on Infernal Shrines, let's put it this way. Down to the bottom of the map, again the attempt to anchor the play for potentially taking the Bruiser camp, but just catching someone here. Farlander is playing this fairly safe and is not moving out too much, still sitting on the cloud here. And so far it's undetermined if that's going to be a happy or a sad cloud, depends a bit on the outcome of the game, I suppose. Top side, same tactic. All of them are trying to set up kills. All of them are looking at the map and are saying, hey, if we just sit here in the bush, if someone walks past, we got this. We can get that kill and the advantage. But there's a huge amount of bot lane pressure that comes from LFT. They are the ones who always try and take that Bruiser camp. They're continuously capturing their own Siege Giant camp here. And they are rewarded for it. The first tower is down. They're going for the second turret now. Masquerade is already sitting there. Attempt by Banabir to get someone pushed back. So far, that wasn't really the case. Everybody is dodging the landmine. But we have the pressure with the two camps. Stork coming in from behind, thinking about it at least, but Nestib is already on his way too, and turns this into a quick 4 versus 4 right there. Stork on the way back into the mid lane. Both of the teams angling for level 10 abilities now, and there they are. Gets the level 10, and again Angarius taken, so Stork is mutating into the delivery boy at this point. Tries and deliver the backline right into the hands of Malfurion, Leoric, and of course especially the two damage dealers, Junkrat and Reyna. That said, we have also isolation. So Dehaka, even more dangerous right now, could move through. They're going straight for Garrosh. Garrosh survives for now. The taunt comes in, and Imperius is dead. Kolya Martian with his tranquility a bit too late here. Dehaka came into Dragon Knight, about to be captured by Leoric, but Ophia in the mid lane, able to deny it for the time being, chomping Leo out slightly, and down to the bottom we're seeing another shrine recaptured as we have LFT with 3 kills against 1. They got demolished on the first map, but now here on Dragonshire, they definitely plan to change things around and to start that comeback in the series, and so far they've been doing a great job. Top lane, again, Toxic in position here, can try and drain the Quasar a bit, but the pressure is on with a double wave now moving in and at least attempting to drop that fountain, and that fountain has absolutely zero chance. Down on the map on the other hand, a 4 versus 4 still raging on as Team Russia is looking to get those kills back. Toxic is there, is starting to move, could drop the Entomb, but doesn't. No kill opportunity there just yet. And still, Orphea getting the damage in against Barnaby in particular. Coffin Girl doing work. And the rest of the team is busy with the camps again. I really like what LFT is doing with camp control. Really like that quite a bit. Always busy on the camps, always trying to make sure that they have the control with the camps on the map and therefore on the lane. Bot lane control completed with 4 heroes rotating again, but as I said before, once that camp is captured top right, Leoric himself is going to be in trouble. And he is already battling it out with the Quasar. The problem is that he's not going to be alone for a long time here, because we have Nestib starting to move into, and Toxic is all of a sudden realizing that he's not really wanted in this spot. So he's trying to move away, is able to move out. Ophia doesn't get the kill, catches the experience. Arrow on the other side at the bottom, they immediately follow up from Tyrannus. They're going in, and the taunt! The taunt is there, and the kill! Both of the damage dealers are down, and now Stork trying to help out, but it's a bit too late. With Reyna and Junkrat gone, Stork's demise is only a matter of time. Down goes Imperius. Leo retakes the top, but now we have level 13 talents in the hands of LFT. We have them with 6 kills against 1, and they are looking great on this map right now. They're looking fantastic here at this point. They are about to grab a Dragon Knight. We still have the attempt to recapture that up at the top. Leo moves in, contests the shrine, but he's not the only one. Masquerade is on the move. There's the flip, there's the stun, and there's the kill. Malfurion is down, and Leo, he is trying to clean out the trash here, but it's not quite working. The janitor is on the job, trying to clean house, but instead it's he himself who gets dropped, and of course that's only the beginning of the potential end, but at least Junkrat was able to recapture the bottom. It's staggered deaths though, one after another. A 7-kill advantage now for LFT as they are moving this series back. Slowly and steadily they're starting to take control of game number 2. 1 level ahead, trying to make sure that there is going to be a 3rd map played. We are in the semi-final. They want to go to the grand final here. They want to have a shot to make it straight into Division S, to not have to play the point game. But of course, we are still seeing Russia fighting here. The Russians, they don't give up. They will throw one Hail Mary after another. And as we've seen in previous series, they are not afraid to fight a 4 versus 5. And they're not afraid to fight a battle where they are talent down if they see an opportunity to get quick kills. They are going to take that if they have a chance. They will roll that dice. And if that opportunity comes, they will take it. So right now, once again, we have Russia starting to come up against the French team here. Top lane, Dehaka could move in. 4 heroes down there, getting at least for now the siege shines. No fort has fallen just yet, but there's the push straight up the bottom. Once again, trying to go in with the defense here. Even the game is a bit too excited about this. Stork moving out. Oh, the taunt connects! And he goes down. The attempt to go for the counter kill, but right now it's not really working out. The Quasar moves in, but things are not looking pretty. The Entomb doesn't connect either. They're trying to go for Dehaka, but they can't get him. The quick burrow, and Masquerade is still covering the retreat here as we see the stuns coming from Tyrande. Top camp is getting some value. Bottom has been defended for now, but this could actually hurt the fort immensely depending on the speed of the rotation. Barnabia is still sitting there. Doesn't really look like we're going to see that drag. No, it's not happening. Bot lane is still not lost though, and we actually have Leoric trying to do what he can to hold on for this as long as he possibly can do. This is not going to get too much. We're having a Dragon Knight attempt again as Quasar moves in. They have 16, keep that in mind. Mid lane, Barnabia saying, well, I control this for as long as I can. I got the grenades, baby. Nade to the face, no Dragonite for you. That's what he's gonna try and do here. Masquerade comes in. Ooh, they're going quickly for him. The Entomb this time a little bit better. And Garrosh is about to go down. Garrosh goes down. And with the Haka defending the top, they take the kill in the middle. Team Russia on the move once again. The Haka didn't join the fight this time. He had to defend the 4 tier, but even with a talent disadvantage, they find an opportunity to force the 5 versus 4. They take the kill, and now they are about to control both of the points. The rotation is here again. Tobos moves in. Banana H is on the way too. Toxic is low. And Leo is gonna fall, is he? He is. The isolation is very likely gonna result in a second death on the side of Team Russia. Imperius dies, but at least we see Junkrat taking down Hanzo as he sees an opportunity to drop him. So the little, you can stick that arrow where the sun doesn't shine, my friend. Junkrat comes in with a grenade and drops him, but that fight ain't over. Not by a long shot. Toxic, especially, wants to be back on the battlefield as quickly as he can. Khaldor Martian holds onto the top shrine. No Dragonite just yet. 16 talents on both sides. And once again, here comes Leoric, and the drain is in immediately. So is the throw, so is the stun. They're trying to go for another kill. They can't get it. But here's the Entomb. Good throw. Bana H gets thrown out, but Garrosh survives for now, for the time being. Grenades, on the other hand, still tickling in. And Tyrande eats most of them. They're all low. All of them low at this point. Once again, Toxic starting to rotate in here. Quasar in the middle, holding the line, holding the experience, and the same is true for Toxic. Toxic is going straight in, making sure that they get the experience, that they're not losing anything to the turrets, dropping that. No Dragonite just yet, and we are 13 minutes in, but here comes Lunge once more. Imperius at front, 4-man arrow! 4-man arrow, and here's the ult. The ult from Imperius, can they get the kill? And they do. Orphea is dead, the grenades keep popping, and we're having the second kill secured as Tyrande falls. They're trying to make the play now for the Haka, and he gets wrecked as Malfurion comes in mercilessly with the roots. Toxic himself is a bit in trouble, but Tobos can't do anything, and of course they go for the camp. Of course they do. What else are they gonna do? It's in their nature. They take the camp, they steal it away. 2 heroes on the map, there's no contest up at this point. That camp alone will already threaten the top, and they're going to try and look for the Dragonite right now. 14 minutes in, and we haven't seen a Dragonite yet. It's 11 kills against 6, but the Russians are fighting tooth and nail. They go straight in once more, and Stalk with the channel is going to get the first Dragonite in this game for his team, as we have Banabir trying to get the camp at the bot lane at the same time. He's not alone. Farlander is on the way too. So is Khaldor Martian. Everybody is starting to move in here. The Dragonite himself already busy in the mid lane. The shots on the fort soaked by the minion wave, or by the few remaining ones that still existed, as the Dragonite is trying to go for the first drop down to the bottom of the map. We see the second one about to fall, and just like this, after being demolished in the early game, the Russian team is taking down 3 forts. 2-3 minutes ago, it looked like LFT might walk away with a huge advantage through the early game that they played, but at this point, Team Russia has taken the lead, not only in experience, structural advantages on the map are crazy right now. The entire outer ring of defense has been broken through as the Russians are slowly pressuring their way towards the first keep of the game. Dragonite still active for another 27 seconds, and as they wait for the minion wave, the DK still with a breath of fire, able to burn this down. Punt to the face attempt, but Tobos jumps out. Dragonite gets baited in and burned down a little bit more quicker, but they still get the damage onto the keep as it stands. Turnaround attempt though. Here we go. Do we have that engage? Hanzo doesn't have the arrow any longer. The taunt could maybe change the outcome of this. Farlander gets stunned once. Here's the damage. Where's the drag? He's trying to land it. Isolation is on point, but there's the lunge. The Haka in trouble. And again, the root on the ground. And here comes the delivery. There we go. Masquerade goes down, eliminated here as they're looking for more. No Entomb left any longer, but there's enough stuns ready to drop the Haka. He's down, make it a triple, baby. Orphea is dead, and that's now poke time against the keep itself as we see Russia once again going for it here. Fantastic game by them, considering the problems in the early game. They were 7 kills behind. They had a talent disadvantage, and they never allowed a Dragon Knight to be taken by their opponent. Now they have the keep destroyed. The Russian team here just absolutely running the show, and they are looking for another kill as Hanzo moves out a little bit too much. Here comes the attempt again, and Hanzo goes down. And of course, now they're looking at the core. Of course they do. They start to go in for it. The Russians with an absolute dominant performance. Eat that Entomb, baby. Tyrande gets dropped, and this is game as Russia turns it around, takes the 2-0 victory, and moves on to the grand final of the 3rd Division S Qualifier from heroeslaunch.gg.